This video is going to show how to compare fractions with the same numerator. Let's get started. Number 1 says 1/3 compared to 1/4. I notice that the numerators are both ones. These are both actually unit fractions, 1/3 and 1/4. So one piece that is a third compared to one piece that is a fourth. Let's take a look at some fraction bars. So you can see with these fraction bars that the whole has been split into 3 equal pieces, and here the whole has been split into 4 equal pieces. So when we see a denominator of 3 and a denominator of 4, we have to really remember what those numbers mean as denominators. That we're not comparing 3 wholes to 4 wholes. We're comparing those numbers as denominators. So we're comparing thirds to fourths. And even though 3 wholes is less than 4 wholes, when the 3 becomes a denominator, that actually means that those pieces are bigger sized. Thirds are bigger than fourths. So 4, that means the whole has had to be split into 4 pieces, which means the pieces are a little bit smaller. So when you have 1/3 compared to 1/4, we're comparing 1/3 to 1/4, and we get that 1/3 is greater than 1/4. We have to really stop and think about what that denominator means. What does the 3 mean compared to what does the 4 mean when they are denominators? So let's record that and draw a picture. Three equal pieces on the top, 4 equal pieces on the bottom whole. Shade in 1/3, shade in 1/4. All right, number 2, I see 3/8 compared to 3/4. Right away, I notice that my numerators are the same, 3's. And so we're talking about 3 of these pieces compared to 3 of these pieces. So again, this comes down to what is the denominator. And these are 8ths, these are 4ths. So again, we have to be careful. 8 is a bigger number than 4, but remember, we are not comparing 8 wholes to 4 wholes. We are comparing 8ths to 4ths. Let's look at some fraction bars again. All right, here are the fraction bars. You can see that we've got 8ths compared to 4ths. And you can see that here the whole has been divided into 8 equal pieces. And here the whole has been divided into 4 equal pieces. Now again, remember that we're not comparing 8 wholes to 4 wholes. We know that 8 is larger than 4, but we are comparing 8 as a denominator to 4 as a denominator. And it changes when we're talking about fractions because we're now talking about sizes of pieces to make a whole, not the actual wholes. So this is not what we want to be thinking. We want to be thinking, oh, 8ths, my whole is split into 8 pieces. Over here, my whole is split into 4 pieces. And 4ths are bigger pieces than 8ths. So for this problem, we're comparing 3/8 to 3/4. So I can see that 1/8, 2/8, 3/8 is smaller than 1/4, 2/4, 3/4. So 3/8 is smaller than or less than 3/4. All right, let's record that answer. 3/8 is less than 3/4. Draw a picture. I know that I need 8 pieces on the top. And now I can shade in 3 of those. Compared to 3 of the 4th sized pieces. All right, go ahead and finish number 3 and number 4 and join me back in the video for number 5. All right, welcome back. Remember to keep drawing pictures or look at some fraction bars if you need to. All right, let's get started with number 5, 1/4 compared to 1/8. When the numerators are the same, all I have to do is look at the denominators and just really think about what those denominators mean. I know that a 4 means that my whole has been divided into 4 pieces, and the 8 means that my whole is divided into 8 pieces. So 4ths, those pieces are a lot larger than the 8ths. So that means that 1/4 is greater than 1/8. And that's what I will write down, is that 4ths are bigger than 8ths. So 1/4 is greater than 1/8. All right, number 6, 2/6 compared to 2/3. The numerators are the same, so I'm thinking about 2 of these pieces compared to 2 of these pieces. And these are 6ths and these are 1/3. When the whole is split into 6 pieces, those are a lot smaller pieces than when the whole is only divided into 3 pieces. So I know that 6ths are smaller than 1/3. So I know that 2/6 is less than 2/3. Sixths are smaller than thirds. I know that 2/6 is less than 2/3. All right, go ahead and finish number 7 and 8, and then we'll go through a few on the back. When working on the back side of this page, please remember to keep drawing pictures or look at fraction bars if you need to. Let's start with number 9. I noticed that 1/4 compared to 1/2, the numerators are the same, and these are actually unit fractions. So 4ths are smaller pieces than halves. 1/4 is less than 1/2. If I move over to number 10, those are also unit fractions. So I really can just focus on the size of a 1/6 compared to a size of a 1/3. I know that 6ths are smaller than 1/3, so 1/6 is less than 1/3. All right, let's actually jump down to number 15. I'm going to highlight that so you can see where I'm at on the page. And we're looking at 2/3 compared to 2/2. Now the numerators are the same, so we're looking at 2 pieces versus 2 pieces. Well, what size are those pieces? These are thirds and these are halves. So think for a minute in your head what halves look like and what do thirds look like. if the whole is split into 2 pieces versus the whole split into 3 pieces, thirds are going to be smaller. So 2 of those pieces will be less than 2 of the halves. And many of you may have picked up on that 2 halves is equal to a whole. That's something you probably learned and reviewed in 3rd grade. All right, let's jump down to number 19. 3/10 compared to 3/12. We have 3 pieces across the top here, and now we're looking at the size of those pieces. So here the whole is divided into 10 pieces, and here the whole is divided into 12 pieces. So tenths are going to be just a little bit bigger. So 3/10 will be greater than 3/12. And let's do one more just to be sure everybody's got it. Let's kind of come down here to maybe number 29. 6/8 compared to 6/10. Again, my numerators are the same, so I'm comparing the size of the piece. So we have eighths versus tenths. Here the whole's split into 8 pieces. Here the whole's split into 10 pieces. So eighths are going to be slightly larger than tenths. So 6/8 is greater than 6/10. All right, go ahead and finish this page. Please double check your answers with the answer key or have a parent check your work for you.